Yep. That's just not supposed to happen. Oh, crap. Oh, it's lost. I definitely lost it. That just happened. Yeah, as you guys saw, I totally lost the screw. I mean, that thing had a mind of its own. It went somewhere. I mean, it's lost. I don't know how I'm gonna find it. I have the other screw right here that I was gonna talk about in this video, how it came loose, but I lost the other screw. So yeah, well, yeah, guys, we're taking a look at the Gerber Fastball Flat Iron. Really neat blade. I've never had a cleaver before, so I wanted to give it a try. And for the past couple months that I've been using it, I've been kind of liking it, but there is some things that I wish would be a little bit better, especially for the price point that it's given at. One definitely being that pocket clip. But let's get into the specs real quick. We got a 3-inch CPM 20 CV cleaver style blade with a topographical map design. It does look like Damascus at first, but it is a topographical map. You can see the two. This is my first time messing around with a cleaver blade, and I have to say I like it. What I mean by opted is I actually got to customize this. If you go to Gerber's site, you can customize fastballs and some other models. I went for the fastball and I wanted the cleaver, so I chose that style of blade, but you can get different handles, different backspacers, retention screws, all the fun stuff. I went obviously with the dark oxide coating cleaver with a blue G10. They have an option of aluminum, and then a coyote brown backspacer. I believe it's polymer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's polymer, not G10. The backspacer, and then black retention screws, and was supposed to be a stainless steel pocket clip that would match the pivot, but we all know that's gone now. But I really like that Gerber offered that. I'm always for customizations of knives and gear. So when it comes to the colorations of material, I definitely can't complain because I did choose it. But the G10 at first was a little smoother than I thought. I'm used to more of Spyderco's G10, like the Tenacious here. Their G10 is just a little bit more on the rough textured side, and I was used to this through the Tenacious and the paramilitary too. The Gerber's G10 is just a little bit too smooth for me. It's just a personal preference. I like to have that rougher texture so I can get a better grip on it. But it gets the job done. It's not slick enough that it's going to slip out of your hands. One thing that I do wish it had for more traction is jimping on the blade. You could probably self-make jimping or just put a piece of traction tape on there, but when it comes out of the box, you get no jimping, so it is kind of slick on the blade itself. Now, the biggest thing this knife has going for it is actually in its name, the fastball. It's its action. It's super fast and fairly smooth. And what's interesting is that it's not spring-assisted at all. It's ball bearings. And how it's deployed so fast is due to its detent. So we have the flipper stud right here, and you have to put quite a bit of pressure, and that's the detent right there that's fighting against you. And you could see right there, there's very minimal jimping, and sometimes it'll dig into your finger. You have to put quite a bit of pressure for this thing to fly out. You could kind of do a cheat way if you want and just kind of flick the wrist a little, so use a little bit less pressure there, but once you get the hang of it, it'll just pop out like a spring-assisted blade. And what this ball bearing actually reminds me of is the CRKT Fossil. It is a beautiful knife and one of the smoothest I own, and that's all due to the IKBS ball bearing system it has. And it's not going to come as fast as the Gerber Fastball, but you could just see how smooth this knife is. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's all ball bearings. The Gerber doesn't have that, so I was a little bit disappointed because I was kind of comparing it, because the only other ball bearing knife I had before was the CRKT Fossil, but you could see there's no like smoothness in this blade at all. Actually, the blade stops because there's a secondary detent. You can see that right there. You have to put a bit of pressure. So once we get past that detent carefully, you can see it's not going to be as smooth as the CRKT, but it's still smooth enough that the blade flies out just like a spring-assisted. And definitely a bonus here is that it's made in the good old USA in Portland, Oregon. I like how Gerber's starting to do that again with their blades. But let's talk about the cleaver real quick. Like I said, this is the first time I actually got to use and own a cleaver blade, and it's been quite interesting. It's definitely utilitarian style design, and it excels in that category. From opening boxes, processing cardboard, opening letters, cutting different types of cord from paracord to fishing line, even processing food. This is a fantastic style blade. Now, where it fails is when it comes to self-defense and the hunting world. I actually took this knife fishing on multiple occasions, and I actually had to end up gutting a fish with this, and it was not the easiest thing in the world to do. Obviously, this blade has no defined tip to it, so it was hard to get that first initial cut. And when we go into self-defense, this is not the most ideal blade. Now when we go into rescue, this is actually more of an ideal blade. Rescue, this cleaver style blunt tip blade, if you will, is actually a little bit more ideal, so you don't cut the patient. There's definitely places that this blade will exceed in, but if you're looking for more of a self-defense or hunting blade, this is definitely not it. Overall, the Gerber Fastball is okay. If you just need a knife to get the job done, you're not looking for self-defense, you're not hunting with it, then for sure this blade style, the handle length is perfect for larger hands. It's slim, it's light. I would recommend it for that. It's just a great workhorse of a knife. When it comes to self-defense or hunting, I would definitely go with a different blade style. And that's what's actually pretty neat about the Fastball, especially with this customization. You can choose a different blade style. They have the cleaver, or they have that modified drop point, which would be more ideal. So guys, that's the end of the review. Thanks for watching. This is the Gerber Fastball Cleaver style blade. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and see y'all next time.